Hey there, team, and welcome to 4v4. I wasn't too sure if I was going to do this one. Oh, I like the way we kind of swooped in there really close. I wasn't too sure I was going to do this one, so I will warn you, it's certainly not like down to the wire or anything like that. But I just thought it was quite an interesting concept. I really like the map, and I did want to do something about it. It is a work in progress for Eclipse. He is going to be doing some changes to it. But I do, as I say, I really like it. And we had, there were a lot of quirks. So we're all what I tend to refer to as like Western Kingdoms of Men, even though some of us are from the East. But by that I just mean we're all kind of civilized kingdoms, civilized good kingdoms. So very much, basic medieval too, to an extent. But yeah, there's some quirks. So of course you've got over here on the, well, I guess east of that. The left-hand side, from what I'm looking at, you have this sort of triple valley pass, one with a very high, steep climb, and then two on either side. So we're going to be having sort of two players battling out over in this section, and then sort of where I am, you have what I really adore, this kind of, it's wide and open, but you've got multiple players sort of forced down through it. This sort of forest here for some little memes. So that's me and Tundris going to be making our way through that. And then over on the western side, you have Dorwinion and Mevin going to be sort of smacking out. So Dorwinion is actually limited to just using human units today. So it's just going to be the elf friends, no elves today. So yeah, exactly 20,000 troops on the field. I should have taken a little screenshot or something. It would be fun to just slam that in the thumbnail. But yeah, so we've got exactly 20,000 troops altogether. Over here we have Eclipse with Dol Amroth. So he's got a very, well, the cav that you would expect from Dol Amroth. Haven Knights and Perithal Riders with some Knights of the Silver Swan. I tend to really shun these guys, which is a bit of a shame. As I say, when I bring Lancers, I still just bring the Uber tier Lancers. Or not so much, I mean, I take Tharbad Riders. I don't take Uber tier a lot of the time, but I'll always take a sort of a step above. Athelian Men at Arms and more Athelian Men at Arms without that armor upgrade. So yeah, but still very beefy, solid enough to get the job done. Archers behind them, some halberdiers, and then some pikes. Again, no armor upgrades for the pikes, more halberds. Over here on the right, he's got some more pikes, some Belfast Marines, and some halberds ready to move up through this tight pass. Some champions, more men at arms, and some marines. So we could end up with the Rohirrim forces deployed right there. So this is going to be just an immediate javelin fest, which could be very possible from the likes of the Eastmark spearmen, or even some shield maidens, Rohan shield maidens if they are right up there. Some archers and men at arms, and a catapult with some more men at arms behind it. Lots and lots of men at arms. As I say, Dol Amroth may be a cavalry faction, or maybe a cavalry superior faction, but it doesn't mean you've got to be really hamming into that. You've got a lot of solid infantry too. But he's going to get backed up by some of Tundris's forces with his pikes, his halberds, and his sort of really solid sword and board, making its way up there. But the bulk of Tundris's forces are going to be backing me up in the open plains down here. So he's got his Dalian Paladins, in front of them some armored up swordmasters, Arthedain marksmen, and then Lake Town pikes with the more Lake Town infantry. Nice halberd, well, not halberd, hybrid unit with some barding marksmen out front. I would have been, perhaps he just wanted to put down the stakes there, but I would really have thought that the Lake Town infantry are going to be in front of the barding marksmen. But I guess he doesn't want to take too many casualties to them because they're not going to be infantry afterwards. I don't know. I would really be exposing my Lake Town infantry to the shots. Over here, playing as Cardolan, favorite of course, for field battles. Got my gatekeepers, of course, armored up because I'm not insane. Sharpshooters to their side behind them. We had a little bit more money. These aren't 13k armies. This is, I think we all had, what, 15k? And we were encouraged to try and take 20 stacks. So usually my Cardolan force is not a 20 stack, but that's quite nice because it's given me the ability to grab units like the Groomy Garrison Spearmen and also the Lumbermen. A few of these little militia units to stack on top of my general forces. Usually I would take two Menheria Spears. I've only got one of them because I've got quite a few of the Groomy Garrison Spears to make up for that. Behind them, two Menheria Men at Arms, Tharbad Warhammers, and lots of Greenway Garrison footmen, of course, keeping them a little bit further back because I don't want them to get rattled, because they will get shot like crazy if I expose them to that. More Greenway Garrison spears here. In the far back, I do have my cavalry, 2 mercenary cav just to lock down enemy cavalry. They're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with any sort of real supreme melee cavalry, but they'll keep them in place. That's all I really use them for, is to catch an enemy charge. Don't really mind about them actually killing the enemy cavalry. And then my Tharbad riders, in order to really do some damage. But you can see we've got a pretty tight situation here, so I'm not going to be able to use those guys for a little while anyway. In the trees here, I say I've got some lumbermen, nice cheap AP, very useful up against, you know, civilized kingdoms of men who are going to be relying on a bit of armor. Then some more Dunedain, one unit of Dunedain captains, again armored up because I'm not crazy. Then Greenway Garrison archers, another unit that I will very rarely take with Cardolan, backing them up by some sharpshooters, and wardens with some spearmen. So it's mainly going to be down to Mevin to secure these sort of river crossings, but I do have some troops there to back him up. Playing as Gondor, he's got his Gondorian archers and lots of militia, but he's gone for his armored up militia. And when it comes to Gondorian militia infantry, they're just about as good as a lot of armies sort of main line, especially when you give them that armor upgrade. So again, Gondorian militia infantry over there, Gondorian archers with, yeah, both levels of armor upgrade, trebuchet there dominating the range game. Some spears, lots of spears, Citadel Guard for that AP in the back, and then a Nimlothian Honor Guard with some marksmen of Kirandros, and the veterans of Osgiliath back here. This is where I tend to put my... Yeah, good man. Yeah, I tend to put my general in with the veterans of Osgiliath, and that is what Mevin's done today. It means that he doesn't have that extra hit point, but I don't know, I like archer generals, what can I say? Over here we have Froggy, playing as I say Dorwinion, so he's got his Elvelyn troops, Vineguard and infantry. Over here some more Vineguard and infantry, lots of Elvelyn marksmen. In the back there, Catapult, Hammerguard and double Hammerguard. Gone into the red limit for that, but he's not able to access the Glade Masters, or yeah, that's what they're called, right? No, maybe not. Or the whatever they may be, the Elven elites. Oh goodness, right. So the next guys are deployed right up in our faces here. We have Tweak as Numenor. He's got his ballista in the back there. His Farazim Swordmasters. Some Sentinels. You can see there's something deployed up here, but the pikemen are out front, and also the Farazim Nobles and Vanguard are right in my face as well, alongside some Numenoran Shield Guard that popped up straight away. His ally is Volchek, playing as Arthedain, so he's got his Evidem archers battling out front, Dunedain mounted company, spears in the back, or spears just behind them, lots of Arthedain men-at-arms, marksmen there, any armor upgrades, lots, yeah, well, 1 level for the Arthedain men-at-arms, give them a bit of sort of battle against us, and 1 level for the marksmen, they can only have 1 level. Then the Peacekeepers behind them, able to go toe-to-toe with most of us, and the 4 Nosteran Knights with the Wardens of the North in the back. So we definitely outnumber our enemies, and we've got a bit of the range game on our side. But in terms of, you know, fighting Numenor and Arthedain, they've certainly got the better melee core there that we're going to have to deal with. And some Knights of Innuminus and that powerful, you know, Farazim Nobles and so on are going to be tricky as well. But, you know, as I say, tighter spaces. So lastly, there is Morris with the red shield right of the fjord, or ford, and then Eastmark Riders, who I very rarely see, you know, but it's nice, very big unit size for Rohan. As I say, they may not, well, they've got some damn good cavalry, but it's the larger unit sizes that really sort of shine for Rohan. Midastil Guard there, guarding the General, Sons of Ale, and 1st Marshal's Bodyguard, certainly supreme. Westmark Spears, Helmingas, more Westmark Spears, Westmark Marshals, Shield Maidens, double Riddermark Spears. But it looks like he's given up the flanks, or at least he's given some ground on the flanks, but he's pushed quite deep at the start here, with his Riddermark Spears and Axemen sallying forth right away into the Belfast Marines, as the Shield Maidens perhaps get a quick yeet with their axes. But this is a Javelin versus Axe situation, and saying that, Rohan doesn't rely as much on their armor as most of the other kingdoms. Oh, that looks quite nice. That does look quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe something like that'll do quite well, just so I don't have to worry about it later. We'll see, we might get some good lakeside, you know, screenshots there. So yeah, charging on in, and we'll get this underway. So I think I actually need to maybe go to 0.8 right off the bat, because there is quite an unfortunate situation for poor Tweak here. He gets a quick charge into me, and I do take a fair few casualties. 0.7 around a little bit of stud there. But yeah, I'm sort of countering that with just my mobs of fodder. We do have the pikes coming in, and these shield guard are alone. Now, although they may have some good AP, they'll butcher my Greenway Garrison spears. I've got some AP coming in too with the lumbermen. Get a few of them dropped with that charge, and totally surrounding them. Even the supreme skill of Numenor is not really going to be able to hold out against that. Over here, this is when we sort of discuss with Mevin. Mevin says, hey dude, looks like it's just going to be a 1v1 here. You can head off. So that's very nice, because I just wanted to be ready in case there was going to be a 2v1 situation over there with Mevin. I had to support. Wojciech's coming on in, and he's slipping. Oh, I do just manage to catch him, but I think he's going to try and push his way through. So a few casualties there from my spears. The lumberman of Tundra's Fox charging on in to try and hack through a horse's leg as well. Again, taking more damage, but what's going to be the final grab are going to be the mercenary cav. Dunedain Mounted Company, of course, they would rattle through the legs of the mercenary cav, but 2 full units of mercenary cav, yeah, it's just going to break them. When they've already sort of pulled themselves through too much, it's going to be a nice wee break there. So yeah, a good little early win for us as we grabbed those shield guard, had a little bit of a cav victory, but moving up the hill, don't know why I didn't just come the straight way there, getting the catapult to do a bit of damage is nice. You see the Riddermark Axemen. Ooh, yeah, this is definitely going to be one for the Perthel Riders, of course, or sorry, Perthel Champions, relying on heavy armor, so the Axemen are going to do some damage, but they've also got an exceptional skill. They are half-elves, or, you know, at least that's what their ancestry stems from. Should a few axes just being across the screen there, right into the armored up halberd. So of course a lot of that damage is going to be negated, but those shield maidens have such a high damage with their axes that it hurts all the same. But yeah, so it's actually going okay for the axemen there. I guess just backed up by some Riddermark spears. Of course, the Riddermark unit's not poor quality by any stretch, so a bit tough for the Perthel Champions. But once those halberds get their halberds actually down and get organized, it's going to be a bit more messy. The shield maidens have taken quite a few javelins in response. Of course, they've got a little morale buffing effect. It's quite a short range and it's not a very large morale buffing effect, but it's going to keep their boys in line. As I say, nobody wants to disappoint the pretty girls standing behind you. Sons and the First Marshal's bodyguard moving on in here. Quite a little charge, and there's no spears here. No spears here. Yeah, we can just sort of start slicing through this. Fortunately, we sort of did like a little charge through each other. It would have been, like, of course, this takes a lot of micro. It would be lovely if we could have had a 1 unit charge, pulls back, other unit charges, pull back. Unfortunately, it's just going to be the catapult getting a bit of frustration there and stopping us from getting a real monumental charge. Again, nothing on this side. Morris really more than happy to hold back because he's got a lot of support coming on down here. But saying that, so does Dol Amroth. To come back us up as we just kind of commit to a little back and forth pew pew fight. Steel bows firing on over, getting some shots into my gatekeepers, and I'm responding to that by shooting straight into them. I definitely don't regret this. Numenorian steel bows, I'd love to shoot them in the left side or in the back, but they're as good as Numenorian cohort, in melee, so I'm more than happy to kill some of these guys off. What is he shooting at? He's shooting into my lines. Oh yeah, he's getting shot on my blooming Hearthguard. That's a shame. And run! Okay, good. I am getting out of there now, but yeah, he did rattle some shots into me. That's a bit of a hurts. I think my general's not bloodied, so he's okay. He's alright. But yeah, this really kind of spooked me. I want to pull back my Garrison Footman. Don't want any sort of Belegar archer damage rattling them to pieces. And again, yeah, sharpshooters. Ooh, looked like some of those guys were shooting straight up. Good, not good. But yeah, not too bad from this sort of early little victory there. Lost a lot of my sort of fodder, but it's not so bad. We've got some sort of stare down going on here. You can see, yeah, I've taken over the bulk of my troops. I think I left 2 units of Greenway Garrison. Oh, sorry, Garrison Spears and Garrison Archers, just because I didn't really have the... it's not so much combat width. What am I looking for? What you fit combat width into. I guess just the battle width, I suppose. I don't have the battle width to fit in all of my troops, because I'm kind of squished on into the side of Dale here, and I don't want to just, merge into him. I want to be on his side. So I just don't have the actual space So I was like, yeah, I'll just leave something there, just in case Froggy comes forward with an absolutely brutal charge that's going to be spooking us. Oh dear, that was a nice close range shot. I like that the flag, even though it's sort of burned up, the flag is still sort of wedged into the ground there. It does look quite nice. Yeah, sort of a little back and forth between Dol Amroth and Rohan, both very, as I say, very powerful Cav factions having to rely on their infantry today. But Rohan, I feel, is just a little bit deeper into that cavalry focus than Dol Amroth. Dol Amroth is still, you can rely on that heavy armor, you can rely on sort of some very, very skilled units, but I mean, yeah, you get that same thing with Rohan. I think it's just a lot of Rohan's power, these axes, these throwing axes, which again we're seeing them coming rattled across the screen. And it's just these sturdy armor is going to be shrugging a lot of that damage off. Saying that though, we're still getting victory for most of this. Westmark Marshal's appearing now though, and I guess so much AP from Morris's melee line too. It's hurting Dol Amroth. So, oh nice, yeah, climbing up that side bit there, just clinging onto the rock face while you throw your axes with your other hand. And yet Helming is just waiting there. Some Westmark spears, just in case Dol Amroth does send over some cavalry. And yeah, just keep the gang back on this side as well. Morris just waiting for a chance to push through. But you can see, I think a lot of people have over-invested in cavalry. I think that the Vanguard's not a bad shout, but I think overall everybody has sort of over-invested a little bit. We've got the charge of the Knights of the Silver Swan. They're coming straight on in. We're getting some javelin fire, I thought? No, that's just archer fire. But crashing right on into the spears, 203 before contact, not before tact. Down to 149. But charging into the face of spears is always going to get you a little, especially braced spears, is always going to get you a little nasty counterattack. And breaking there as the Vanguard, or sorry, Farzam Nobles come on in. Luckily for us though, they run toward our lines. Fear though, we have these stakes. And let's hope they miss them. I think they do. You can see them sort of doing a little beeline toward this. Because as they're routing, they're just gonna run. They're not gonna worry about where they're running. This guy's gonna get gunned. Oh, what? Oh no, he did get done in. This guy too. Oh, lucky boy. But yeah, we got very lucky there. And they did come back from routing. Some pretty brutal up and over shots there from that catapult once again. And right into my mercenary. Yeah, right? Bit of a shame, but you know, as I say, they're kind of there to be cannon fodder. I don't want to lose them like that, but I'm not crying over it. Sharpshooters moving on up. Now this is where I am a little bit of a silly Billy, because these Belagar footmen, they keep going hidden. So every now and again I'm like, oh, look, there's pikemen, they don't have a shield in front of them, and I'm shooting them with my crossbows kind of point blank, which would normally be something I'm more than happy to do. But the fact they've got that Belagar footman line in front of them that keeps going hidden is just a pain for me. It looks like Tweak is not willing to let me just get some shots, so I'd say try and run on back. I don't want to engage my Numenorian forefathers in honourable melee combat. No sirree. I'm more than happy to just rely on my crossbows to win that engagement. So I'm trying to run back and get the pikes forward, but yeah, no, that's not an engagement that either of us want to commit to just yet. You see over there, Froggy is mounting the offensive on the Gondorian beaches off the river crossing. But yeah, trying to gut his way through those heavy numbers Gondorian militia is going to be tough. One trebuchet down. Yeah, see, this was interesting. So Mevin actually sort of left his treb, I suppose, as a way of just seeing if it would be kept a bit safer if his troops weren't around it. But no, obviously Froggy is still going to go for it. So that's one treb down. Still not the end of the world. Treb should still be able to get, you know, most of its ammunition used up. Gondorian trebuchet team, of course, being a little sort of spear and shield. I don't actually know what their stats are, though. Don't actually think they count as a spearman. It might just be aesthetic. But yeah, if they did have that armor, though, that really does help. Oh yeah, okay. Tweak pulling these guys back. A few of these Eastmark riders taking a casualty. Looked like they were wanting to sort of move on in, but nope, they're coming on back now. My Ruined Garrison footmen showing their faces a little bit too close to the conflict for my liking. So I do try and get them out again. Bars and nobles sort of sneaking as yeah, we continue with this sort of range engagement. We'll go to 1 times speed for now. head back on it to the normal engagements. I didn't realize, because of course, this I quite like doing my own battles because it's fun to kind of see what your allies were doing, because of course I'm not looking at this. I didn't realize this fight was so constant up here, and you're seeing some of these Dalians, and that powerful phalanx of the Barding Herd is just what they're needing up here. But still, you're seeing victory is certain, even for the Shield Maidens, as they're up in this conflict. That's another thing Rohan has, just solid spearmen. Like Mirkwood, you know, they've just got Hiriek, the Rohirrim with their Riddermark spears, they're just good, cost effective, you know, expensive, but they'll get the job done. And Rohan sometimes doesn't need a phalanx, because they can just rely on those good solid spears. But, and today, yeah, you're kind of seeing it. It's flipping back and forth. I think that, yeah. Oh, no. No, still in favour of Rohan. Still very much in favour of Rohan. With Helmingus have moved up, and more Shield Maidens are here too. But as I say, I just didn't realise how constant that attack truly was. They were really clashing right from the get-go, and they've still been doing it. Whereas the rest of the fighting here, with me, Dale, Arthedain, and Rohan, Numenor, we were really just staring at each other. They're right there. You see, I should be shooting at them now. Maybe I am. Am I? Yeah, I am. Alright, okay, no. There's no shields here. I'm getting some decent kills. Why did I stop then? Yeah, you're seeing some... So there are some Fitmen in this one. Surely there's Fitmen here too. Are you seeing any blood splatters coming from just where there's nobody? Yeah, you're seeing some blood splatters coming from there. I think... Because surely I would be inflicting way worse casualties if they didn't have a shield line in front of them. And you can see I'm hovering over this guy and I'm not seeing anything, which usually means that there's a hidden unit in front of you, maybe. So yeah, I stop. I think I do realize, like, okay, no, I'm not killing as much as I should be there. So I cease that. Once again, Froggy opening up. Both real threading the needle to miss that. Again, I missed. No, Froggy is probably the most unlucky catapult user in Reforged. Artillery as a whole, he just, yeah. I've seen him maybe land at the occasional really good one, but his targets are always fine. But it's just that his boys just do not want to play ball. Absolutely not. So yeah, clashing there again. Gondorians just showing their ability to resist this. Now, Avil and Vanguard, as good as they are, their attack value is absolutely pathetic. Very, very small. So even up against sort of Gondorian spears, who are, you know, they're inferior, but they are still struggling just because the Gondorian spears have a little bit more attack value than Westmark Marshals. Shaken there, not too many of them left, but this guy's gotten around the side. So is this guy actually. Oh no, he got taken out by the captain of the Barding Herd. Yeah, had he been able to sort of slip around and start getting some backstabs into the lines, that could have been very messy. Because of course every swing to the back of an enemy unit, you're having their defensive skill. So when you've got that AP axe, you're having their armor anyway. So if you have the defensive skill and have the armor, whoa, yeah, you're going to be dropping people with every other swing. More Westmark Marshals coming on forward. You see how much damage the first one did. So the second one's going to be an issue. So it doesn't look like Eclipse wants to just withstand that forever. He's going to be moving on forward. Helmingus opening up. Dorwinion Archer's quite badly bloodied there. Everything's either got a shield in front of it or it is spread out, or both. So not the best to fight. And Eclipse again pushing on the left side. Rohan really has control over the centre, but Eclipse is pushing on up the sides, and it doesn't look like there's that much left from Morris to hold them back there. The Westmark Spearmen are going to take a long time to go down, but they are going to go down. That's the important thing. Wojciech moving back alongside Numenor, as we've kind of done a little shunt. Usually what I like to do with Cardolan, especially in sort of a 1v1 or a 2v2 or something, is just kind of shunt. You know, I just do a jump forward. Ha, I'm in range. Bang, bang, bang. And I'll shoot you with my crossbows and force you to either run away or, well, run away, charge me, or soak up damage for a minute until you decide what to do. You know, when I move, I tend to do, it's quite a big, decisive movement. I don't tend to sneak back and forth. You know, I don't tend to just do little steps. If I'm moving, it tends to be decisive. At least when I play as Cardolan. Different with other factions. So it looks like I might be about to do a little shunt here. Yeah, I'm seeing the enemy sort of moving back, so I want to jump at them. And they're already quite close to me, so I'm going to be exposing my crossbows to the chance of being charged. But Menheria's sharpshooters and gatekeepers, certainly, you can see they've taken some damage to harbor piercing fire. They are able to sort of hold out in melee quite well, unlike a lot of cavalry. Oh, no, sorry, not cavalry. A lot of missile units. They're able to hold out not too bad. So lumbermen moving on forward there to chase away the Gondorians. Of course, Gondorians really relying on that armor, but being quite a fragile unit themselves, they're going to be able to get shot up. You can see these archers over here shooting at these lumbermen, these archers shooting at these lumbermen. Yeah, nice little crisscross. Very good to see from Evan. Very tough to withstand for sure. Terrible crew there. Of course, just standard dudes. Got the heavily armored Gondorian spears defending the trebuchet. Peacekeepers moving on up. Ah, yeah, unfortunately, a few of these were these nobles. Surely not. No, how do you tell? Or are these just vanguard? They had their swords out instead of spears. No, you're seeing it. No, that's a banner. I'm pretty sure this is just spears or a vanguard, and that's not the fires of nobles. But still, yeah, that's just the Numenorian vanguard that dropped there. Still, it's a damn shame to lose a few of them to your own stakes. That's why I will always forget my stakes. I will always run through my own stakes. That's why I never put them down. It's my total fear. You can see here, just absolutely ravaged by... Oh no, these were the Arthedain Mountain Company. Bit of fire there into the lines. More than happy to sort of deal some damage to his own forces. I'm sending in my militia forces. I just felt like, okay, yeah, when I shunt forward on the left, I'm not going to be able to show any micro over here. So instead of more Gondorian militia dying, I'll take the strain for a little bit so that, you know, yeah, he's kind of fine. And then I can focus entirely on my men. How is the Rohan Dol Amroth struggle? Again, Tundra's moving some troops up. More of his pikes, which will just be an issue. And it looks like the cavalry from Eclipse is trying to force its way through. There's no... Yeah, there are no more spears here. But oh, that's the general. Kind of, yeah, the model gets slightly confused when it's on a slant like that. And that'll maybe be it. Yeah, Swordmaster Veskarolf, that's another unit that's very tough to deal with. I didn't realise just how much help Tundras was moving up here. He had a lot of infantry support. Sort of helping to rinse Rohan. Riddermark Skirms, and... Oh, sorry, not Riddermark Skirms, Riddermark Spearmen. No Riddermark Skirms on the field. I really do like Riddermark Skirmishers. Ooh, that was a thought. That was a thought. We could have come in for a quick little charge against the Dorwinion Archers, to be honest, but I just don't think it's worth it. Oh, that was a... Yeah, an organized, very organized shot from the Perthol Riders. Now that doesn't matter. Yeah, I was going to say, like, you don't want to mix your units up like that with the dismounted Earls of Dale because you end up shooting up and over, but because they're a mounted archer, they don't seem to care. They're happy enough to kind of just shoot over, which makes sense, because, yeah, they're just shooting over their heads. The nice thing about sieges, sometimes you can sort of shoot over your heads into the enemy lines without the risk of friendly fire. Oh, somebody's right of the forward. Fold even. Fold, not forward. Right of the fold, getting smashed up there as they walk through the enemy archers. No, we're still staring it down. Got a bit of ammunition left. But yeah, you can see, okay, now they're very clear to see. I don't want to be... But I have rinsed quite a few of them, even though it's not been the most effective use of my ammunition. I've still killed off quite a bit of them, which is going to just allow my lower quality pikemen to hopefully outnumber them and really get through the Belegar units so that we can focus on the higher quality Arthedain men and also the really higher quality Numenorian men. Over here the clash is continuing. Again, my infantry, my militia infantry doing alright up against the Elvelyn forces. Lumbermen running on over there. Again, yep, Gondorian militia forces kind of showing their worth over on the side. A lot of, yeah, just, you can see the amount of firepower I've actually put into this, and everybody with a shield is just, certainly not a wasted bolt. Belegar, I'm glad to see the Belegar footmen dead, but it's not worth it. It's just not, yeah, so every time I was just pouring shots into the Belegar footmen. because they're built for that. You know, they've got the shield value. They've, you know, malicious spears are made to take fire, so that the more important units don't. So I say we were given Morris a fair bit, because of course these battles we tend to all be in the same voice chat for. We're chatting about, you know, we're giving each other a fair bit of crap. We were giving Morris, not me of course, but other players were giving Morris a fair bit of crap during this for not being able to hold out. You know, it's like, oh, you've overinvested in cavalry and all this. But to be honest, like, he was fighting a lot of Dalian forces too. He's done not too bad for his situation. Of course, Eclipse came down to help us a fair bit too, but no, I think Morris did not too bad, if I had to say. But he is kind of he's faltering now. Medicilled Guard have gotten they've got flanked around by the Belfast Marines. Can we get a charge up? First Monster Border Guard coming in. Oh, gamers! They're going to take a volley, but I think they'll get snagged after that. No. Oh, good. I thought he was going to try and run down there, which would have been a tempting thing, because he would have gotten a few kills, but he needs to answer to this. 45 buff. Oh my goodness me. Surely that's a break. Surely. Wow. Staunch morale. I guess it's maybe just the Haven Knights are right now. The General's in with the Haven Knights, so you don't want to run, but like, whoa. Very, very impressive they didn't route there. Tweak's Ballista came over here, but it's just too late. You know, the lines are already shattered. Maybe, yeah, there's no point in running now. Just get that on fire ammunition and just barrel shots right through this approaching halberd line. Are we getting involved now? Because we... No. I'm surprised. Yeah, this was... There we go. Good. So yeah, when we go for it, we just go for it. And really just slam our way on in. So... Being in group chat together, both the attackers and defenders, you've got to be a bit careful what you say, so we did have to do this in text chat, just work out like when we wanted to go for it. And you see we've sort of caught them off guard there. Again, Tweak's probably, yeah, this was, I didn't realise this, but this was probably the best moment we could have had, because he's probably focusing like crazy on that ballista, who's still free. Oh no! I don't actually think has he fired a shot? I don't know if he got many shots off. Come on, boys. Now they're getting shot to pieces, and yeah, they'll get grabbed by Eclipse now. As they should, but yeah. He's reloading. Shame, boys. Shame. Would have been great to have gotten some close, like, point-blank shots with that. So, right, let's see if we want to get our nice thumbnail of the river and the forest there. But yeah, clattering in with the Belgar units. Numenorians coming on in. You see, even as much damage as I've done to these forces at range, they're still holding out. I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything too gorgeous. I mean, the men of Cardolan are always very gorgeous, especially the Greenway units. I love the Greenway units. Yeah, they changed, of course, in the version. Well, in the version before, they were much more sort of standard medieval, whereas Cardolan went through a lot of aesthetic changes, which, to be honest, I wasn't a fan of originally. It's grown on me, it certainly has, but they went from being sort of very aesthetically quite you know, like they wouldn't have actually been too far-fetched to see them in Medieval 2. You know, they were like base game. You know, they were very sort of stereotype medieval, a lot of kettle helmets and so on. I do like kettle helmets, so, you know, I was attracted to that. I was a bit upset when I was like, oh no, so they're going to be, you know, changing their helmets to this sort of more Numenorian style, more sort of what we expect from like a Tolkien-esque, or at least what we've taken as like a Tolkien-esque aesthetic. But no, it's grown on me a lot, and I think it does look good, and it does make them match in much more with like Arthedain and so on. Whereas before they, you know, you compared Cardolan to Arthedain, they looked like they were from two different worlds, you know. But yeah, a few people were against it, and I was against it, but no, as I say, they've grown on me. As far as the Swordmaster's getting javelined up, that's a shame for them. But yeah, you can see it's pretty
good tidings. The enemy general lies
right,
dead.
yeah. I remember saying I was very panicked, and I said, that's great, stop, that was a lovely one. Because I was very scared about that. I don't like, even with the trebuchet, that you can rely on its accuracy. He's given another one. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, good. Ooh. I was just so scared. I really, because I thought he inflicted a lot more friendly fire with that hit. So I was quite upset, but no, he inflicted a lot more kills on the enemy with it. But you see steel bows, you know, the sentinels, it's just so tough, so tough, even with our warhammers in there. So I'm doing my thing with Cardolan that I normally do. I've got my Warhammers there, Wardens of Tir and Gorthad. Over on the right, I've got my captains, yeah. And then I don't think they're involved yet. No, the Hearthguard are waiting in the back. So Hearthguard, they've got that 100 meter morale range. Tharbad Warhammers have a little morale range. Wardens, they've got a little morale range, and then so do the captains. So I've sort of got like little morale buffing bubbles around across the entire front line. And I've also got my elite spread, so I know that each section of the front line. Oh, we've got some morale units showing up there. Hammer Guard there. Yeah, battering down my guys. So hopefully spreading that morale buff and also spreading the power of the elites across the front line. I don't like to compact my elites all in one section. Sometimes you want to do that, especially with a lot of like evil factions, like sometimes Mordor. You want to get those Temple Executioners and the Olokai slamming right through the same point, but no, when it's a proper frontline slog like this, I wanted a spread. And you're seeing it's not actually working out too well for me in some of these stages. Like the real power of Numenor and the Elvelyn units are actually getting the better of me. You know, Cardolan is good in this case, but it's rare that, like, I usually play a very high quality Cardolan army. It's very rare that I don't win frontline engagement. But you can see the width of my frontline in comparison to theirs, you know, so that's kind of a reference to, well, it's an idea of the quality. And yeah, so there is a quality disparity, and I'm struggling to break through. To my side there, the Dalians are having a bit better luck up against the troops of Arthedain. Again, Arthedain sort of more relying on these Evandem units and so on. Dismounted 4 Mysterian Knights struggling to get through the Lake Town Pikes. Lake Town Pikes, of course, not so great. Well, fine, but you know, it's a pike is a pike. Yeah, Fires and Nobles there. Oh, maybe it was the Fires and Nobles that went down to the stakes. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of cav pressure over here. I sent in my mercenary cav to block up this gap, because the enemy cavalry was sort of pushing through. But up against Fires and Nobles and the Sons of Eorl, I'm gonna get ravaged. But that's the whole thing about this. It's not about actually winning the cav fight. It's about blocking them up and stopping them. You know, that's the only reason I've got the mercenary cav. I'm hoping to win the infantry engagement. So, because if they got through, they could start wreaking havoc behind us. So my brave mercenaries were just tasked to keep them in place, pretty much. The Dalian Paladins there to help us. Yeah, they're helping us out a bit up against the Wardens of the North. We're trying our best. We're trying our best. But once they get through, which they are going to get through, it's going to get messy. That was me losing half of my troops, but again, a lot of my troops are these militia forces, the Greenway units, so still got a lot of the Greenway left. So yeah, bit nasty. Those Hammer Guard, I've barely killed any of them. Goodness me. Sentinels still stabbing, prodding, poking away at me. Hearthguard involved there now. I think I had a little bit of ammunition left, but I just wanted to get them involved. Wanted to keep my line together, and you can see how fragile it's starting to get around here. A lot of these are elites, of course, but you know, my general line, you have Fighting to the Death, Greenway sentries, or sorry, Greenway Garrison spearmen breaking. Greenway Garrison footmen holding out still, thank goodness. They're the important parts, the pikes are the important parts, the Greenway Garrison spears are just there to take a bit of a beating. I'll have to sort of see what's going on in these forests, but we're about. Captains in there too, yeah, good. So even though the red team is having a few little victories here and there, or a few dominating a little bit. Goodness me, cats are going crazy, just sprinting around the house right now. They're having some little victory points. For the most part, it is going in our favour. How are things up here with on the hilltop? That is that. No, that is finished. So they are coming on down now. What's left of the forces, and also the Knights of the Silver Swan, Dol Amroth forces are free. Froggy's sort of holding that hilltop now. Yeah, there's no point in trying to sprint down here. By the time you got to here, the battle would be over. You do sometimes have to cut your losses and think, nope, I'm going to go back, going to defend somewhere rather than go and get caught out in the open field trying to back people up. Still some pike damage coming into me, but I'm still prodding back. A healthy pike unit in the later stages of a game is a super weapon, you know, and even if they're not a very high tier pike unit like the Wardens, you know, if they're just even a general pike unit. I like that we've got the Wardens of Tir and Gorthad involved toe-to-toe with the Naranara Sentinels. That is quite a messy engagement for sure. A lot of quality pikes stabbing away at one another. Hammer Guard still breaking through us here. Still 49 of them. And the Cav is through. The Cav is free. We've got the Mithrandir's retinue from Maven. Not bad riders there. I don't really want to use them to catch the Suns, but if I have to, I will. I've got my Mercenary Cav. If I can just catch the Suns, and then we can get a charge in and out, that's all we need. But right now the Suns are free. One Lake Town Infantryman. Yeah, dude, it's alright. You've done good. If you're the one man left in your unit, that's fair enough. But no, the Suns still... Oh yeah, they were just hitting in and out on my lines. Absolutely devastating me. I turned around the Wardens just to try and get a few stabs in, which I think I did, and we ended up catching them with the Tharbad Riders. I'd say they'll kill my Tharbad Riders quick, but there weren't too many of them left. Just swarming them with the archers, everything I had, just to get rid of those knights. Oh, no, they're still there. Is that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one. He was dead. Cool. Yeah, so just had to throw everything at him to finish him off there. Citadel Guard, more AP coming over from Maven. The descendants of the Numenorian Shield Guard were both being AP spears. I don't intend to take the Citadel Guard with Gondor. Don't really know why. They just yeah. Couldn't say.
We continue like this,
Couldn't say. I tend to take the Amrothian Honor Guard, which of course, but I don't know. I guess I focus so much more on like pikes and the Fountain Guard and so on, more on my like phalanx fighting forces rather than this shield and spear. And yeah, we're starting to overwhelm them all now, as it's just some of the peacekeepers coming in. Rav Mithrandir's retinue, of course, they don't want us to have some freedom. There's still some of Morris's units getting in for a little charge, and my guys kind of withstood it, not too bad. But we did, and we even turned around and got one of them. Very well done, boys. But yeah, just coming in out for some charges, knocks through a lot of my guys there. The problem with when you're alone like this, you can charge a bit too deep. He did manage to make it back out. Of course, Morris is going to be microing the heck out of this guy, so he should be okay. And just really racking up some kills. He might end up getting, like, to be honest, like, if you come in and out of a unit like this, you might end up causing a break. Like, if we're a bit scared of what's in front of us, which is fair enough, Fires and Swordmasters, Hammer Guard, might end up chasing us away. Marksman Andros, though, much more sort of high value target, but at the same time, more chance of actually getting hit in response, whereas my guys, whoa, holy smokes. When my guys are slicing away at them, yeah, okay, we inflict some damage there. Where we're not dealing that much. Whereas when the marksmen pull out that two-handed sword, it's going to be very unpleasant. Oh, I thought you ended up somehow getting a general kill there. It was just perfectly timed. But no. My voice is dying out here. Goodness me. Mithrandir's retinue coming on in. A few backstabs in for the peacekeepers. And yeah, so this is when it's all pretty much done and dusted. But I just really enjoyed this map. As I say, I know it wasn't the absolute closest fight in the world, but that's kind of... As I mentioned in the channel update, a lot of the battles, I just want to get them sort of done. You know, I'm not going to be able to have the same amount of time to look through and work out, are they exact, are they, you know, if I'm halfway through a recording, I don't really have the time to say like, oh no, I don't want to do this one. Yeah. So a few will slip through that are maybe a little bit more one-sided, but this one was more, I really like the map. We were kind of ragging on Eclipse a fair bit about the map, and I really wanted to stress, like, dude, it was nice. I really liked it. I thought it was cool. Some of the ideas we kind of thought about was having there be some way, like the midpoint off the hill where you could kind of get up and down. But the power that you'd have, say, when you're on the slope, then you could shoot down on the low ground. It might end up being overpowered. I think one thing we were... What were we thinking about again? Yeah, I think there was a problem here. I can't remember it. I probably should have recorded this right after. It's been a little while. But it was good to get a nice big game with Cardolan again. I love Cardolan in field battles. I tend not to play Cardolan in sieges, of course, definitely in attacking sieges. It's just not for me. But Cardolan in a field battle, I can't get any better. You know, I just love it. And it was some good coordination. Tundras was fun to sort of fight alongside there, and I think we did not too bad. General's not loving that fight right now. He's just getting stabbed away by the dismounted Earl of Dale. But no, it was exactly 20,000 troops as well, which I thought was quite funny. Just because we didn't coordinate that. Oh goodness sake! Right, so when he did just start to fight, he's part of a hammer guard unit, so he's got AP with that sword of his. But yeah, like we didn't coordinate that. It's just like we all made our armies, and then it was just like, oh, it's exactly 20,000. So that was funny. But yeah, I think it was going to be the general as the last man left there, just kind of surrounded by the Thelan men at arms. Yeah, that's him gone now. It's another one dead. Goodness. 1-2 times speed there, but we'll just hang about over the top of him and see him go down. He'll quite a few more actually, because we're going to struggle to get through his armor. And the Swordmasters of Esgaroth are there. Surely they'll be able to take them.
The enemy general lies dead.
I think it was an Athelian man at arm that ended up finishing him though. Oh, and also we got very lucky with bloomin' Froggy's catapults. They were just so unfortunate. I didn't actually catch as many of them as I was thinking, you know. But goodness sake, they were missing me so badly. It was a shame. Froggy always just seems to get quite unlucky with his catapults, as so zooming through. Anything crazy from me? Yeah, I like my sharpshooters, my gatekeepers. One mercenary cav 42 is that's very impressive for me with my mercenary cav. And the Tharbad riders, they did not get a single charge. And if I could go back, I would have probably, if I'm playing on this map again, I'm probably not, well, I don't know. Maybe I still would take them, but like the reason they took so many casualties there was because I used them to grab the suns. And I think I used them to grab the suns before that as well. Like they had been getting battered up by like powerful Melee Cav. So it's fair enough to see them go down. Menheriath Spears, that's a shame. I'd hope to see better from them, because, you know, especially when you compare certain, but it just depends what they're fighting. Greenwood Garrison Footmen. Oh dear me, I don't like to do that. I don't like to have one of them there, one of them, like, yeah, no. Every time when I've got types of units, the only time I do that differently is so that when I grab these sharpshooters, gatekeepers, sharpshooters, they're already in the formation. I always like to have my gatekeepers in the middle. But yeah, super duper. So thank you guys very much. That was a fun one. I will see you later.